welcome back to the channel. We've got a very special episode today. We are going to be interviewing a very good friend of mine. He's made quite a lot of stocks for me over the years and is a bit of a genius at making stocks. It's Warren Edwards, and we're going to go up to the course and have a quick shoot with him and find all about Warren. Right, well, welcome to the channel, mate. Much appreciated you coming on doing this for me.
No problem.
So, question number one then, as we're obviously walking down to the course, is how did you get into stock making?
It started when my dad started making them back in 1982, I think it were. My dad started making stocks. He designed a few stocks for Day State and made for Day State, and as he set his gun club up, it got more popular with my dad making stocks, so I started helping him out back then. It went from there.
So tell me a bit more about your dad and your dad's background.
My dad used to be a construction worker, as everybody were back then. But then he got into airgun shooting, and he just started having to go at making stocks himself, and went from there. He designed so many stocks for Day State and got quite a few articles in Airgun World back then with his stocks. And
you've actually brought a couple of the magazines today, haven't you? So
I have, back in, tough,
From what, 1982 or something?
83, 84, different magazines, what I've still got with my dad in, and with me in.
And you as a young lad?
Tough,
Rolling back the years a bit.
Yeah, he started one at first Airgun clubs at Rotherham Leisure Centre.
Right.
And Rotherham Star interviewed him back in, that was in 84, I think it were, 83. Yeah. So then he set one at first outdoor clubs up at Pinchmill Farm. And it went from there,
So have you always been a stock maker then, or did you obviously...
Me full time. I started making stocks full time probably about 10, 12 years ago, full time.
Right, so not that long ago then?
Not making stocks full time, no.
So, but I've known you now for the best part of 5 years.
Well, that's it, yeah. It might be longer.
Yeah, probably, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, time goes by, you just chuffing lose track of where you are, aren't you?
Just a bit, yeah. So I think what we'll do then, we're going to go into the course and we'll have a few shots. I messed up a bit here today. I wanted to bring one of Warren's guns that's made a stock for me for, and I picked up the wrong box, so I'm actually shooting my Day State Griffin today. But Warren, can you just explain about obviously your...
Yes, I'm shooting a Handshoots 9015, which is tuned by Zenith. Obviously it's got one of my stocks on. This is one of my FT guns, so it's got a full buttock on it. It has an adjustable hamster. Obviously it's got a Falcon X50 on it with the side wheel obviously for range finding, and the top turret for your adjustments. And spot on gun, brilliant gun. Yeah.
Right, so why don't
the stock's made in poplar, I wanted a lightweight stock, so I went with this poplar, which has no weight to it, so yeah.
You do actually go back to your stocks, and you do actually make quite a few different ones. Obviously you do your laminates, you do a nice Turkish walnut one I've seen.
Yeah, it's whatever. There's that many, everybody wants something a bit different. They always want, I want something different. Yeah.
And you can also make them, I know you've made quite a few for me. You've made, I've come up with you and said, can you make this stock in this design? So I've took I think it was a Day State Mark IV, but that I wanted on one. Then you made it the forend a bit different for me as well.
Yeah.
So
everybody wants something. Can you do me this? Can you do me that? And they always want something.
So you do obviously, it is average, like you do, everything is fully custom made with what you get from you, isn't it?
Yeah. It was saying when I made the LPR stock for America for Lauren Parsons, she come up with so many small designs, and obviously we tweaked it from there, and I did 10 stocks for America, designed for that, the LPR stock. So no trouble.
That's great. Right, so I reckon what we'll do then, we'll have a couple of shots on the field first, and we'll work into the woods, and
right.
I'll let you beat me.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
So, just another question was, before you take the shot, we explained a bit about obviously different woods and different obviously stocks that you make. Have you got a preferred one that you like to use most, or?
Yeah, I think you can't beat a nice piece of Turkish walnut when it's got some lovely grain in it. Obviously, it's a nice piece of wood. It just once you start carving and cutting into it, all grain comes out, and obviously. And my wife Sheila, she does the oil finishing, on all the stocks. And once you start oiling, then it just seems to pop out and look lovely, on a nice piece of Turkish walnut. Yeah. Obviously, your poplar is nice if you get a nice piece of poplar, and your laminates are nice, but I don't think you can beat a nice piece of Turkish walnut. Yeah.
So what out of all the stocks that you make, what would you class as? Obviously your FT stock you've got there.
Yeah.
what would be the heaviest one? Would it be the laminate, the Turkish walnut?
It generally is your laminate. Your laminate, it does tend to be the heaviest of the lot.
And that is because it's got a lot of pieces of wood glued together.
Yeah, so the resin in it, and obviously it is an hardwood laminate what's dyed, you know, so it does seem to be heavier. Yeah. And it kills, you know, like your tools, it hammers your cutters and everything, you know.
So it's obviously the hardest one to work with.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. Right. Yeah.
So anyone don't know what a laminate stock is? Obviously, this is a laminate stock. That's like a grey on grey. And then, like I said, you've got your popular one,
nice.
Which is that's what Warren's got, and then
that's a poplar, tulip, poplar, whatever you want to call it. There's two different names for it. And then it is an hardwood, but it is a soft hardwood. You know? Yeah.
It's easy to work with. Then
very easy to work with. Yeah.
So what we'll try and do as well, we'll get a picture of a Turkish walnut one from Warren's website, and I'll post that and show you what a Turkish walnut one looks like as well. Unless you brought,
I've got mine in.
Have you brought it with you?
Yeah,
So we'll be able to show you one. We'll get back to the range and we'll go through some other guns and go through the magazines that Warren's obviously brought down to have a look at them when he was a kid. But I'll let you take a shot now.
Right up.
And a bit of friendly competition, no sweats.
Yeah. No pressure.
Warren's shooting FT by the way today, and I'm shooting off sticks.
Oh, here we go, Danny. No pressure on that one. Yep.
Do you obviously you're shooting hand shots today?
Yep.
You obviously Nick's tuned that and whatever, anti.
Yes.
What pellets do you think? Obviously, do you prefer to use?
I just use JSBs.
I know. You've always been a big JSB fan, haven't you?
Yeah. No hard and fast. Yeah. You get people sizing pellets, weighing pellets, and all this.
Yeah.
But,
you can. I know. Some of the guys down here do the bench stress. They measure them, size them, lube them. They do all sorts of stuff. So I'm actually. I used to use JSBs, and I still do use JSBs. I'm not happy with that pellet. Still do use JSBs quite a lot in my Airarms especially. But I've swapped over to using the QS streamlines quite a lot now. For some reason, I just seem to be a bit more.
Just make sure you get that camera on that target again when Danny misses.
A bit more consistent.
What way he's doing and all pressure. Oh no! Here we go.
Come on then, next shot then.
Oh yeah. No doubt that shot will be edited.
Right. So what do you think's the hardest part about making a stock then? What challenges you come up against and stuff? What do you like? Is it the wood? Is it obviously what they want on the stock, like metalwork, or what kind of things do you come across?
It's when somebody turns up to me and they're expecting this. Oh, I want this one off like nobody's ever had before. You know, and they expect you to work miracles, and it's not as easy as that. Everybody wants something a bit different, and I want a nice piece of wood. I said, well, yeah, everybody wants a nice piece of wood, I
suppose you can't tell that when you've got the blanks, can you?
Exactly. You get a block of wood, you ain't got a clue what it's going to be like till I start cutting into it. Yeah. Walnut, you can, on face, it might look lovely. You cut in it, and there might be nothing there, no grain in it, Yeah. That's why a lot of people, I'll say, look, you come to mine, and you pick your piece of wood before I even start it. So at least then I ain't got no comebacks, and, it's not as nice as I thought, or all like that, So it's down in their court.
That must have been a nightmare when you first met me.
Well, you still are. You expect, and that's it. Everybody expects, I want to start doing. Yeah. How long? Well, it might be 10 weeks. Oh, no, I need it within a couple. Well, it can't be done. I've got orders in and bookings in, so you can't just jump in and expect it done within a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Right, after you then, Mr. Edwards, go on. Make sure you hit this one.
Make sure you hit it. Yeah.
I not so long ago and went to do a shooting day with Terry Doe down at Bisley, which were quite interesting.
Right.
And we spoke a lot about accuracy of guns and things and everything, and we both kind of agreed on that modern day guns now with regulators and barrels and things like that, and the design of them, like stabilizer system, like that, makes shooting a lot easier than what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
What we also kind of said is like, and you'll know this a lot more about it than me, is your stock designed to fit you, and if you feel comfy about obviously shooting, is that a big part of it, do you think? Obviously, because I personally, I find this comfy to shoot, but I've picked other guns up and the stock, I've liked the look of the gun, but the stock's not quite fit me well. Your standard, your standard stock that comes from the factory. Can you just tell us a bit about what you think about, like, regarding the comfort of stocks and how it affects your shooting?
The fit of a stock is a massive thing, you know, so you can sit down, your hand sits in it, you sit it on your knee and you're comfortable to start with. You're not fighting with it, trying to get comfortable. You've got to sit down, your cheek's got to go on your cheek piece, and you've got to be ready for your shot straight away, you know, so that stock fits you nice. So people come to me and I'll start with, I'll get a stock roughed out, then they might come back in a few weeks and they'll come and try the stock, you know, see if the grip fits them correctly, the cheek piece is correct, then we can take it from there. They can say, can you take me a bit more off here, a bit more off here, to make sure that stock fits them perfect, so they're not fighting with it once they start shooting. They're nice and relaxed and comfy and good to go.
Yeah, because when you take your shot, you want to be able to stay as comfy as
Well,
possible, don't you?
You've got to sit there and, you've got to be comfy with it, yeah. And there's that many different shots now, elevated, downhill, you know, so you've got to try and be comfortable with it as much as you can, really. Yeah.
I'll let you take a shot now, then.
Right.
Don't miss.
Don't miss again.
Don't miss again.
Don't worry, Nanny, I didn't miss.
So just another quick question then. Over the years, have you obviously noticed a change in what people are wanting from you as regards of obviously different stocks and things? Or has it just been like consistent same? Or
No.
I know you do make obviously you make lots of different stocks. You make sport stocks, you make for hunting, and you make obviously some very bespoke ones, and you do your hybrid ones and your FT ones, don't you?
Yeah.
So is it?
Lately, I have quite a bit of, a lot of interest for bench rest stocks.
Oh, I forgot about bench rest.
Yeah, obviously bench rest is getting more and more
popular.
Bigger
into it,
yeah. Bench rest, you can't really do much with a stock as long as, you know, it's still got to fit them to a certain extent, but it does its own thing. Oh dear me.
Just again, pressure's getting to me today.
Did you get that on camera? Yeah, good, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Good job we're not out hunting. I'm wanting to live on rabbits. We'd be starving.
We'd be starving today, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So yeah. It has. Obviously, when my dad started making stocks, you made a stock in, you know. But like I say, everybody wants something that bit different now. It's got to fit them. They've got to have adjustable palm shelf to make it fit their hand. They've got to have adjustable hamstring in case of adjustable cheek piece, because obviously scopes are a lot higher these days on FT stocks and scope. So eye relief and everything's got to come into it, you know, it's got to fit you correctly. Yeah.
So I missed that one again. Pressure's getting to me. So next question is, I know you made the stock for Daystate for Lauren Parsons, didn't you? You obviously made 10 of them for 10 different rifles. Have you got any other upcoming projects from different manufacturers you can tell us about, or is it all a bit hush hush?
No, not really, no. A lot of them go to the big companies because I can't do the numbers what they expect you to make. So majority of my work is just people wanting one-offs and different things. So I can't. I was all on keeping up with the 10 what Daystate wanted, you know, to keep up with their dates and times, you know, because I'm just a one-man band who works out of his garage, and so I couldn't really. They were trying to dictate the dates, and I couldn't give them the dates they wanted. So I did end up doing them in the end, but you know, I don't like being put under pressure saying we've got to have this done by then, and you know, I just like to do my own thing.
Each one of your stocks is bespoke, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all handmade. It's not as though they press a button and off you go. You know, they're made by hand, and everyone's a bit different.
So it's not like Manelli say, because obviously, like you said, they press a button and they pump thousands out a day.
That's it. Yeah. I'll be lucky if I do one stock in a week. You know, that's how long it'd take me. Yeah. And if it's walnut, obviously, then it has to be going finished for another 2 weeks to get oiled up by my wife. So yeah.
So you got Sheila doing that then?
She does a far better job than me. She's got more patience than me, and she does the oiling now, and and all the stock preparation.
So it's proper family affair then now.
Yeah. It's good. Keep as much as we can in house, and you know, obviously having to send it out and do it to other companies and pay extra money. And it frees me up. You know, where my wife would be oiling, obviously I'd have to stop and start oiling. So it saves me a hell of a lot of time.
Right, number 12 then was. You knock this one down and I'll miss it again.
Yep, no doubt.
Nice squirrel in a tree. You not so long back as well. Obviously, you opened your own club, didn't you? The Warren Edwards Air Rifle Club.
Yes, yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about how that come about and what made you obviously?
It's just obviously shooting is my passion. I love shooting, and I did intend to have it as a club, but there's me and a few friends, and we just enjoy having it, just doing his own thing, going down there, and I just didn't want it as a big commercial club as such. Still, anybody wants to come, and our friends want to come, they can come and enjoy it by all means, you know, but we just love going down at a week, and it gets me out at garage. I'd normally be in the garage 7 days a week, but at least now at weekends I look forward to going down to it once.
Yeah, a bit of relaxing time.
Yeah, half the time I don't shoot. We just go and chill out, have a tea, coffee, walk round, and yeah, we just go and plod about. Yeah, yeah, we love. Yeah, it's good, good. Yeah. Ooh.
While I'm taking my shot to miss them, do you want
Well,
to?
I'm going to say while you're missing.
While I'm missing, yeah. Do you just want to explain to us a bit more about obviously FT? Because I know a lot of people that are new to the sport. They don't really know much about FT shooting. Like, I mean, like I first got into HFT because obviously it's what I crossed over from hunting and doing things like that. But obviously, FT is a lot different to what we do when we have to guess the ranges. When obviously you can.
Obviously, FT can be a bit daunting, especially when you're first coming into the sport. Obviously, on your scope, you have a side wheel where you'd normally put your scope up to 50 mag. You'd range find. It'd tell you what distance it is on your side wheel. Then you'd adjust your turret to suit. So it can be a bit, you know, where on HFT you're more or less guessing your ranges and bracketing and
that's why I'm missing today.
That's it. You're not a very good guesser. Yeah,
not very good guesser. Yeah.
Where obviously an FT tells it as all. Make sure you get that target on the picture. Don't just get Dan Exit. Whoa, get in, is it one? Yeah, that must be the golden shot one, Dan.
I'm a bit more relaxed now, you know.
Oh, a bit more chilled. He's
took your feet. Chilled out now, you know. It's a lot of pressure shooting with a legend.
Legend. Yeah.
So obviously we've covered quite a bit about your what you make the stocks out of and stuff. Have you got a personal favourite that you've made for yourself?
It probably is my Turkish walnut one.
What gun is it on?
Well, that's not my favourite gun. It's on a Springer. Right. It is my favourite. I think it is my favourite stock. It's a lovely piece of wood, and you know, it's just got a lot of character.
Have you brought that with you?
I have. Yes, that's in the van, so we can get some pictures of that. Yeah. But this FT is my go-to gun. This the handshots is set up in this, and it is a nice piece of poplar. Normally it's very bland and just white, but where this one has a bit of character to it.
Yeah, it's got some nice dark bits in it.
Yeah. Obviously, that's where some of the wood started rotting and decaying a bit, you know, or it's been, But yeah, sometimes you do drop on a nice piece. The amount of people say, "Can you get me a nice piece of poplar?" I says, "Oh no, it's normally, it is what it is." Yeah.
Right, let's walk through and we'll try and find an elevated shot so you can show people what to do with that.
Right. Yep, no trouble.
So, if you were going to buy a custom stock, then what factors should the person obviously wanting to buy it consider before they come to you? Like, what do you reckon? What questions do they need to be asking?
The main thing is what discipline you're going to shoot. Are you going to shoot HFT? Are you going to be a plinker? Are you going to be FT? You know, are you going to do bench rest? They need to decide on obviously mainly what discipline they are going to do, because like you wouldn't have this configuration. You know, you wouldn't have this kind of hook on HFT. You wouldn't have a palm shelf. You wouldn't have adjustable hamster. You know, there's that many different things to different style of stocks. So it's trying to you can get a general stock, but if you want a stock what's going to fit you and do your discipline, you've got to decide what you're going to be using it for.
Yeah.
All that thing. Yeah.
You should make me a nice laminate green one for my AR5S. I think you did that time.
Yeah.
I use that for FT, but I've not really shot it for a while. I need to get back out and have another go at it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, go on and see if you can get a
So we've got an elevated chopper here. So we will tend to we'll drop the hamster down, so we're not having to crouch down as much, so we can sit it on his knee and we're getting the shot up there.
And that's to give you more stability into
Yeah,
your hamster.
so you're not having to,
resting.
so you're not having to, so you can just still sit comfortable and still take your shot.
Yeah. You know, the metalwork then was on your stocks. Obviously, that's all your own branded metalwork as well.
It is, yes, yeah.
You have all that made up as well, and
I have it made up now. Obviously, I did the first design to start with and made the first one.
right.
I was one of the first to do the push button hamster as such. So you push it and it locks in, and you just press a button, it releases. You know what to do. Yeah. So.
Is the Falcon as well? Is that obviously your go-to scope now? So I've got the big Nico on mine.
There's nothing, they both work brilliant. They're both for your range finders, the snapping, the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're a brilliant scope. As you can see, I've range find. It's telling me distance, so I've adjusted my turret now to suit my distance, and hopefully it should be something near enough.
One of the hardest things I found with FT shooting was, it wasn't hard, it was just obviously setting your rifle up at the start, getting all your, obviously, because you have to stick all your stickers on for your different ranges, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you have to,
and
it's all to do with fine tuning, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, you could spend a day setting the scope up, to get all your distances on. So as you can see, I've got all my distances on, all my wheels set. That's just a wheel I made myself to fit this scope. The turret, I made that myself. Yeah,
because is that the shark's fin?
Yeah, classed as a shark fin. Yeah,
yeah.
But it's one just I cut out of a bit of alley at home and just.
And then they also make obviously the big wheels, don't they? Like I've got on mine.
Yeah, you can have a large round wheel. Yeah. So it's everybody's own choice.
Right then, I'll miss this one then.
Right, Danny's just about to take the shot. He will not hit this one. It is too close. He doesn't know his aim point because he's just got his gun out at car. So this could be a test.
You're making me look bad here.
Pressure's on.
If I get this,
pressure's on.
If I get this, are you going to make me a stock for free?
I'll make you a coffee with your coffee.
With my coffee.
Yep.
Just another quick question, and I know obviously we touch on this quite a lot now when we talk on Club and and stuff. A lot about how we need to start getting younger people into the sport. Obviously, I've opened this club to try and do that. You've got your club. You're also a part of NEFTA, an organisation. And we both basically said that we reckon in probably 5 to 10 years, it is a probably, I wouldn't say a dying sport, but we're not getting as many younger people coming in. I mean, I'm 40 now, nearly, and I mean, you're not that little bit more
52.
older. Yeah, so I mean, but
you're looking, like you say, 10, 15 years. You go to an average comp now, your average age of a shooter will be mid-50s. So you're thinking, in 10, 15 years, a lot of these aren't going to be shooting, and a lot of the brilliant old boys like Trev, who runs NEFTA. Trev now, he does everything. The amount of work he does is unbelievable. But Trev's getting on now. Did you hear that? He tried to take the concentration off the target. You knew we were going to miss, and he missed. Yeah, but
go on, carry on.
yeah, carry on. Just like that. But yeah, Trev is. I think Trev will be. I bet Trev's nearly 60, but amount of work he does, he's not going to be able to do it in another 5 or 10 years. And these are the young people. Well, there's not as many young people coming through to step into his shoes and take his place. And it's a lot of hard work, and they don't get paid for it. It's all done voluntary. All the work what's done by clubs. It's not as though it's a paid thing. I don't know. It's trying to get young uns into it. They'd rather sit at home and play on the PlayStations and than come out in cold and get some work done. Yeah, that's a lot of it, isn't it? Oh, I'm not going out here. It's cold and wet. But. Yeah, I don't know how you go about getting young'uns into the sport unless they come with their dads and introduce them to it. Yeah, as I were.
I think out of all of our members, we've probably got, the family members, we've probably got about maybe 6.
Yeah. Out of 150 members.
Yeah, and it's great that we've got all these members, obviously because we're a closed club now, but the idea when I set off was I wanted to get younger people coming through the ranks to obviously shoot, and get into the sport and enjoy it as much as we do, because it is a very enjoyable sport. It's like when you do hit your targets, obviously.
Yeah, it's like
when you've got obviously all your technique right, and obviously I've just watched you go through your little routine then with obviously what you do before you take a shot, and when it all comes together and you've obviously hit the shot and there isn't a better feeling, really, is it?
No, it's brilliant now.
And when you get to your scorecard at the end and you see what you've got, it's
but like if you've got all your members, what's your average age here of all your members?
it's probably the same as obviously what we just spoke about. They're
Yeah.
all in like the
mid-50s, 60s, whatever.
mid 40s up to 60s and stuff. So
Yeah. What are old boys what have been brought up with guns and they just love shooting, you know. But they are going to drift away eventually.
I think sometimes the fear factor is with the parents now. There's a lot of things being around guns with a lot of, obviously not air rifles, but a lot of accidents happening over in America where people have obviously gone and done daft things, and it puts the whole of the sport into a bad light. And I think that's sometimes basically, you know, puts people off from wanting to get into it, if that makes sense. Which in reality, anything treat well, used properly, you know, it's a really good safe sport. You can do just as much damage with a golf club as what you can with a gun if you want to, can't you, at the end of the day? But under the right circumstances, with the correct people teaching them, like, you know, you and let's say me behind it, you know, I think we do it as a whole industry and all the clubs and things. We do need to start looking at how we can get people into it more.
But it's same as obviously like the price of some of the guns these days. You know, it's all right, a kid going, "Oh, Dad, I want a gun." You know, you buy him a cheap gun and it don't hit many targets, and unless he gets something, you know, what is more suitable, and you pay thousands and thousands and thousands. You know?
We were just talking about that, weren't we? About Airguns with pressy holes, saying, "Why do you think you bought pressy hole into it?" And it's like the standard Airarms gun now, you're probably talking 700, 800, 900 quid. And then you've got to buy a scope at another 200, a moderator, you know, a cylinder to fill it. The pressy hole guns start at 300 quid up to 500, and I've noticed quite recently doing the reviews that, you know, they are quite accurate guns. And it is a good starter gun because you don't mind if it gets scratched up, you know, you hunt it or whatever you're doing, or it doesn't really matter too much. I wouldn't personally be as much gutted if I scratched one of them as if me and you would if we got these. Got these.
Drops, But an average FT gun now will cost you pay whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 grand. You know, it's not something where you can just, "Dad, I want a gun." Oh yeah, a gun. It's a lot of money. That's why HFT is a good entry level, you know, because you can go and pick a cheapish gun up. You know, your scope's not that critical. You can just roll up and do your thing. But FT, you know, there's a lot more going into it. It's a bit more technical than HFT.
Right. Now you've embarrassed me. I think we've got to go back to go back over, get a coffee, and show everybody his other stocks you've made.
Yep, no trouble. Cheers.
So we're just going to briefly talk about, obviously, Woz has got some old Airgun World magazines here with your dad in. Do you want to explain a bit more about, obviously, this? Your dad set the first club up in Rotherham, wasn't it?
Yes, my dad
explains about.
Yeah, this one starts here. We've got here one of the first outdoor club what my dad set up. That's me as a young'un there. There we go, shooting a 77. Because obviously, when he first set up, there weren't no such thing as your pre-charged. Everything was spring guns. So that's where we first started off with spring guns. And as you can see, that magazine was back in 1986. There we go, £1. Yeah.
Changed a bit now, the magazine since then, hasn't it?
Just a bit, yeah.
And then this one obviously explaining.
As you can see here, this is where we moved on to PCPs. The Day State was one of the first PCPs to come out, and that's where my dad made a matching pair, left and right-handed, because me and my brother, I were left-handed, my brother was right-handed, so we made a matching pair of Day States. Yeah.
You explained earlier, this is obviously before the Tony B last days as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
By somebody else.
Yeah, long before. Yeah, I remember going down to old Day State factory as a babby, them showing me around old factory, and having a day off school to go and say, yeah, that's it, we're brilliant, having a day off school and showing me around old factory where they made these guns, and and back in the day, obviously me and my brother were both sponsored by Day State because my dad designed them some stocks and made them some stocks, so we did end up shooting Day States for a short spell. Yeah, they were good. Good and days.
Then you've brought, obviously, we've just seen obviously shoot with your hand shots.
Yeah, so this is my Walther as such. This is what I use for HFT. It's one of my stocks, and I've had it hydro dipped by Hydrographics.
Over in York, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and I've had that some years now. I've altered it for different guns, and fitted different guns in it.
So actually, I kind of copied Warren with one of my HFT gun, my Ripley. He did me a similar sort of stock, and I liked obviously that I had dipped it, so I got mine dipped. But Warren's is actually a gloss finish, and mine's a rubberized finish. And I wish I'd have gone for the gloss one now, because I found out when I'm shooting off my sticks, it start to rub on the end a little bit and start to wear a little bit. But everything for future there, isn't they?
And as you can see, this one's a Turkish walnut stock.
That's like the first, the best one you can get, and it was.
Yeah, Turkish walnut. You get some lovely, as you can see, lovely grain coming through, so it gives the stock character, and it just looks lovely. And that gun, as you can see, it's tuned by Zenith again. I made the muzzle brake and played about, but it's a lovely gun to shoot, but it's still a Springer, and they've got a mind of their own. They do what they want. 1 minute you can shoot them brilliant, and next minute you can't hit no. So most of the time I do stick to my PCPs because they seem to work, and I get on with them.
I can't hit no anyway.
Oh yeah, you might bet with a Springer. Yeah.
So other than these, obviously free. The only other one's a laminate, isn't it? Which you've not.
Yeah, I am taking laminate with me. Yeah. And obviously with laminate, people can make it their own because they can pick their own colour. They can have any colour they want. They can make a combination of. Yeah. And I want something nice and bright. So I said, you pick your own colours and you would get what you want. You know. Yeah. So yeah, all good.
Well, I think that's roughly about it. Thank you for coming down today.
No trouble at all, Danny.
This,
yeah, spot on, pal.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.